Part of the beauty of the game of golf is the variety that it presents. Something a little bit different every time you walk out on one of these jewels, golf courses that inspire the heart and stir the competitive spirits. We've got a little something different for you in this episode of The Traveling Golfer, a sneak preview of golf on Prince Edward Island, the crown jewel of Canadian golf. And then we sit down for an in-depth talk with the Open Doctor himself, Rees Jones. We caught him at the United States Golf Association Museum in Far Hills, New Jersey. Rees Jones talked about everything involved in the world of golf, including his many masterpieces. You won't want to miss this on the latest episode of The Traveling Golfer.
This lager comes from a place that's been brewing beer for longer than anyone else in America, where men and women have crafted amber gold in the caves below since before refrigeration. It comes from Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, and brings with it all the know-how that doing the thing well for nearly 200 years affords. Yuengling Traditional Lager. Respect. It's earned.
January 2nd, 1986, Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
July 10th, Lansdowne, Pennsylvania.
North Philly, September 17th.
West Hampton, New Jersey, June 6th.
August 16th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
At Beneficial Bank, we have one goal. Always try to do what's right for the people and businesses of the Philadelphia area.
Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, March 16th.
Because we weren't just built here, we were born here.
Before the fairways have been groomed, the greens have been watered, and the pins have been placed. Before the first ball has been hit, the sand shots played, and the last putt sunk. Golf tournaments around America trust Antigua to deliver performance apparel that's beautifully crafted, perfectly embroidered, and distinctive in style. Antigua, tournament apparel specialist for over 30 years. Learn more at antigua.com.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels, a body that feels sculpted? Why give it an interior where even the dash is cut and sewn by hand? It's simple. You can build a car or you can build a Cadillac.
Get the Cadillac XT5 now at Kutztown Cadillac.
It's a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful place. Prince Edward Island. On one side, the Atlantic. Behind me, well, it could be the ocean, but it's actually a pretty wide river. And I'm on a golf course. It's because this is the Traveling Golfer. My first time playing golf in Canada, but it will not be my last. Prince Edward Island occupies a cozy spot in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, so it's easy to miss on the map. PEI, for short, is where Canada, the entire nation, was conceived. A really big idea, but PEI became its smallest province. As such, it embraces a somewhat quaint lifestyle. The biggest city, Charlottetown, isn't really big. You can easily explore the town by foot, and parts of it, like the restaurant district, have a European flair, where charming is the operative word.
It's a slower pace, it feels like vacation, it smells like vacation. We call it the island way of life. And then the people reflect that too as well. It's very laid back, there's no hustle and bustle, no traffic.
There's something fishy about the place, in a good way. It's a seafood lover's paradise, especially when it comes in a shell.
When you come to Prince Edward Island, enjoy our delicious lobster. But not this guy, he's my 5-pound pet.
Most of the mussels in the U.S. come from here. So plentiful are these little shelled morsels that at 2 courses, they're offered up instead of peanuts. Now that we've segued into golf, By car, it's never more than an hour to reach any of 27 courses hovering near the north and south shorelines of the island. Closest to Charlottetown is Fox Meadow, little more than a Dustin Johnson wallop from the driving range. Like almost all the PEI courses, it's scenic to a fault. Generous fairways framed by formidable fescue areas. Fortunately, it's fescue done right, not so close that it dominates play by intimidation. The seaside invokes images of the British Isles, and the Highland theme of choice is Scottish. While Dundurave may have a Gaelic bond, the design crusaders were a couple Yanks, Michael Herdson and Dana Fry. They crafted a beautifully balanced course, taking advantage of all the countryside has to offer. With its huge greens, it's very much a modern design that challenges you to bring every skill as a golfer. Glasgow Hills. Wow! Very player-friendly, but very challenging. Uphill, downhill, side hill, it's a scenic roller coaster of elevation changes. And while the pull of the valley below makes putting a geological mystery, well, that's part of the fun. Another Highland fling awaits at Eagles Glen. Rolling through the hills, it became apparent to me that another theme was emerging here. PEI has a small population, but an abundance of lush acreage to fill the gaps. So, very large greens are the norm. However, similarity doesn't mean it's all the same.
Because we're an island, there's always at least a gentle breeze here, so many of the courses will change from day to day depending on the wind. It's a great experience. It changes the golf course experience, and most of our courses have a water or ocean side or water view.
Pebble Beach's Spyglass Hill was inspired by the novel Treasure Island. Likewise, the Green Gables Golf Club is named in honor of a fictional character who was supposed to have lived here, Anne. And it's on an island, so there's the connection, eh? It's another striking layout that tests your ability to deal with elevation, irrigation, and tribulation. All these courses have earned a place in my heart, even more so because they offer my favorite drink, the Bloody Caesar in tribute to the clam. Green Gables was revitalized by renowned Canadian architect Thomas McBroom, whose handiwork I first encountered some 2,000 miles to the south at Royal St. Kitts in the Caribbean. A master of land and water, McBroom's crown jewel is the links at Crowbush Cove. Ranked among the top 10 in Canada, Crowbush takes a backseat to no one. A magnificent layout that begins as parkland and evolves into seaside. It's a journey that literally is on par with the best surf and sand designs anywhere. The next time you plan a trip to the islands, instead of just thinking south, consider a trip to Prince Edward Island and the Great White North.
Introducing the all-new Exotics Ex9 Adjustable Driver. The Ex9's full-speed impact design delivers forgiving, high-flying drives. The full-speed impact design is highlighted by a new aerodynamic sloped crown, which reduces drag and generates faster club head speed for maximum distance. The Ex9 driver encompasses an adjustable heel weight for draw enhancement, helping golfers find the fairway. The standard 6-gram weight screw is housed in an 8-gram weight pad for 14 grams of sole weighting. Experience the ultimate combination of exceptional control and explosive distance with the Exotics Ex9 Adjustable Driver. Visit touredge.com to find a dealer near you.
To survive the perils of history and time, a brewery needs to hold true to the values it was founded on. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, began brewing lager close to 2 centuries ago. We're still here today because we made a damn good beer that tastes the way beer's supposed to. Yuengling Traditional Lager. Respect. It's earned.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels, a body that feels sculpted? Why give it an interior where even the dash is cut and sewn by hand? It's simple. You can build a car or you can build a Cadillac.
Get the Cadillac XT5 now at Kutztown Cadillac.
January 2nd, 1986, Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
July 10th, Lansdowne, Pennsylvania.
North Philly, September 17th.
West Hampton, New Jersey, June 6th.
August 16th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
At Beneficial Bank, we have one goal. Always try to do what's right for the people and businesses of the Philadelphia area.
Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, March 16th.
Because we weren't just built here, we were born here.
Hi, I'm Stacy Lewis, and my apparel of choice is Antigua. Whether I'm hanging out with friends or playing a different game, or cheering on my favorite team, and especially when I'm playing my favorite game. Antigua, apparel for your game.
We're at a very busy USGA Museum, Golf House, Far Hills, New Jersey. Head of the United States Golf Association. We captured one of the historic figures of golf in one of the most historic places. And we got Reese Jones to sit still for a few minutes, which is not easy to do. You're all over the world. A long, long history of golf course architecture, making the game better for all of us players. And Reese, I've followed you around the world. We've been on courses that you were building. We worked together on projects, and we've done stories about so many of your places. I don't know that at any time was I able to put my arms around the magnitude of all that you've done, but we tried.
Well, we spent a lot of time together, Tony, and you followed golf and helped it grow yourself. I've been very fortunate to have been in a period of time where the game has really been booming, and you've been reporting it, and I think it continues to boom, even despite what some of the financial world is saying about golf. But it's a very, very popular endeavor that we both enjoy.
You know, I've spent time with you also at your office in Montclair, New Jersey, and I think it's pretty cool that we actually get to sit for a few minutes here at the USGA headquarters, because it's a pretty amazing building. They have rooms with dedication to Jack Nicklaus, all of his memorabilia. There's the Arnold Palmer room, a great addition. There is the Ben Hogan room. And then there are all of the other exhibits throughout the place, including a special exhibit tribute to your father, Robert Trent Jones.
That's correct, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, Dad was sort of the open doctor before I became the open doctor. Worked with Joe Dye on many, many golf courses, like I worked with David Fay. And I think I was indoctrinated into the USGA way of life, and I really feel very much a strong part of the USGA.
This piece of property is pretty amazing. I love that huge putting green out back where you can try some of the old clubs, chipping and putting with them. They're impossible.
Well, I think what's so great about this Far Hills property, my father actually found it and recommended that the USGA look at it. They thought he was crazy. They came and looked at it and found it to be the perfect spot for them to conduct their testing, to have their museum, and have their offices.
It's a good thing to be able to find a piece of property like this in your backyard. but architects are supposed to be able to work in their backyard, or at least in the general area, starting with Pennsylvania. And we spent a lot of time going up and down the hills of Pennsylvania, but some of those projects, Huntsville, up by Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, maybe one of the great engineering feats of all time, and there's a great story behind the piece of property itself. You had a little bit of moxie when it came to that.
Yeah, he bought extra land to have 4 of the extra holes, and it's a top 100 golf course. Look Away is another one that I'm very, very proud of.
Look Away is incredible in Buckingham, Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I see that as a course that fits the natural topography better than any other course in the region. It looks like it should have been a golf course from the beginning.
Well, that's another site where we looked for years to find the proper ground. We did it Look Away, we did it Huntsville, we did it Ledge Rock. To find the proper site to build a great golf course is what it's all about.
Now, Ledge Rock was a tough one because that had 200 foot of elevation change in the front. That took some engineering.
Well, on that one you had to know what you were doing. Sometimes the more spectacular the ground, the more spectacular the result. And I think that's what Ledge Rock is all about.
Now, in the Virginia area, resorts like Wintergreen have been long-standing because of the courses, 2 different courses, totally different. One at the top of the mountain, and then one down in the valley, Stony Creek, that you did.
Well, I did 18 holes first at Stony Creek. It's a beautiful valley setting. We added 9 holes. It's been very popular, and it's a very enjoyable golf course to play.
Another Virginia favorite in the Williamsburg area, the Green Course, was a new design of yours, and I always thought of that as the fun course in the Williamsburg area.
Well, my father built the Gold Course with Mr. Rockefeller, and it's been known as one of the best courses in America. It's probably one of the best courses under 7,000 yards anywhere. It's a beautiful arboretum, and then they gave me another arboretum to build a green course, but we built it to be more player-friendly, less demanding, and they've had some major tournaments on that, including the Public Links tournament that Connie Singh won, beating Michelle Wee in the finals. I've been back there redoing my father's course, restoring it. It's getting rave reviews, and Colonial Williamsburg is really emphasizing golf, so it's a great place to go, stay, have a great vacation, enjoy the history, and enjoy the golf.
One of the regular daily fee courses, which is something that we need to address too because the public needs that, is Broad Run just outside of Westchester. And nobody believes it because it looks like it's in the Pocono Mountains. A lot of up and down there.
It's a very rugged site at Broad Run. Again, a spectacular site. It worked out well, and it's been a very, very popular public golf course for that area, and it continues to be so.
Maybe the one of the real jewels of your new work in the Mid-Atlantic region, Atlantic Country Club out on Long Island.
Yeah, Atlantic, I built for Lowell Shulman. It was a dream come true because it was a great piece of ground. It made the top 100 list, as the bridge did, which top 100 list in America. So I had 2 great sites, and the results are there.
Before the fairways have been groomed, the greens have been watered, and the pins have been placed. Before the first ball has been hit, the sand shots played, and the last putt sunk. Golf tournaments around America trust Antigua to deliver performance apparel that's beautifully crafted, perfectly embroidered, and distinctive in style. Antigua, tournament apparel specialist for over 30 years. Learn more at antigua.com.
January 2nd, 1986, Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
July 10th, Lansdowne, Pennsylvania.
North Philly, September 17th.
West Hampton, New Jersey, June 6th.
August 16th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
At Beneficial Bank, we have one goal. Always try to do what's right for the people and businesses of the Philadelphia area.
Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, March 16th.
Because we weren't just built here, we were born here.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels, a body that feels sculpted? Why give it an interior where even the dash is cut and sewn by hand? It's simple. You can build a car or you can build a Cadillac.
Get the Cadillac XT5 now at Kutztown Cadillac.
renovation business has exploded, and there are some really big name renovations that you did, starting with Congressional, which has hosted the US Open, of course, also hosts a PGA Tour.
Well, Congressional is one of the great golf courses in the world, and I was very fortunate to have the chance to completely rebuild that golf course. Reversed the 10th hole was the 18th hole, and that enabled us to get the last US Open, which was 2011, that Rory McIlroy won. And then Lakewood Country Club in Rockville, Maryland, is another wonderful piece of ground that we completely rerouted and rebuilt and turned it into a spectacular place where people can really enjoy the game and get to love the game as much as everyone else does in that section of the country.
And as you mentioned, Golden Horseshoe, maybe one of the renowned golf courses and one of the renowned names throughout America in Williamsburg, one of the top 100 courses your father did, and you've done work on it a couple of times.
We reopened the golf course at Golden Horseshoe in 2017 after a year's renovation. It's now, my father would be very, very proud of it because we brought it into the 21st century, basically added a little bit of length, and now it's definitely a top 100 golf course again.
Now here's an amazing statistic. In New Jersey alone, again, your home state, but 23 renovations, and some of the most storied names in golf, including Baltusrol, US Open site, Ridgewood, and your home golf course, Montclair.
Well, I live here, but I also feel like it's an obligation to redo the golf courses in my vicinity.
And then right next door, your neighbor, New York, where you've done 14 renovations, including maybe the most famous one in terms of US Open play, Bethpage Black, as well as the famous Quaker Ridge and Westchester Country Club.
Well, I think all three of them were really restorations. At Bethpage Black, we really brought the golf course back to its former glory. At 2 US Opens, we're going to have a PGA there in 2019 and a Ryder Cup in 2024. And at Westchester, we added a lot of length because we had a tour event there, and we couldn't get the tour to play the back tees. So we added new back tees, so they played the real back tees. So we survived that one too.
Another of your father's courses was the South Course at Wilmington Country Club, which really has a special renown in Delaware.
Well, my father's course at Wilmington has always been regarded as one of the better golf courses in the whole area. And I worked with Paul Latshaw there to tweak some of my father's holes and just make it a little bit better.
All of this body of work is something pretty amazing. You know, I wonder when you're going to slow down, but you don't seem to. You're working with the people at Torrey Pines. You have the USGA, very involved in so many of the projects that you do. And then you even have done a little work overseas at a place that was once described as the greatest golf course that nobody knows about.
By you?
Yes, but your father did a golf course on the north coast of the Dominican Republic. This is the most amazing story ever. It was built or started in the 70s and did not open until 1997. And then has had a couple of stutter steps since then. The obvious infrastructure of the country made things difficult through the 70s and 80s. When it finally did, I never saw a piece of property like this. I'll tell you right now, I took another golf course architect there, and he actually got tears in his eyes. He said, "This is the piece of property that every golf course architect dreams of," and you're now redoing a place called Playa Grande.
Every hole has a view of the ocean. 10 of the holes are on the cliffs, like Pebble Beach, next to the ocean. We reversed the back 9 and made them even better, rebuilt the course. It's just a magical place.
Top of these cliffs, he built a double figure 8. Figure 8 front 9, figure 8 back 9, so that you played all different wind locations. I thought that was great to adapt that to that piece of property.
There's nothing like it. I mean, if anybody gets a chance to play Playa Grande, they'll never be sorry.
Yeah, it's the most unforgettable place that I've ever been in, and I often say it's also one of the most enjoyable places. There's something magical about that piece.
And the Dominican people are really wonderful. They're friendly. It's just great to associate with them and be with them and just be a part of the place for all this time.
So to wrap up this little discussion, where is golf course architecture going? We keep making courses longer and longer. In the 90s, early 2000s, we seemed to have a fixation on really difficult golf, even for the regular player. Is there a change now?
Basically, we're trying to make golf more player-friendly. Only do we really worry about it being a stronger test when we have a major championship like we're going to have at Bethpage or Torrey Pines. But for the most part, we're taking out bunkers, we're creating chipping areas that are much more player-friendly, more shot options, less total penal strategy, more of a strategic layout. And I think you're going to see golf course architects have smaller bunkers, less length. Length isn't going to be emphasized unless it's for a major championship. So I think the game is going to come back to the player, the everyday player, more than it was a decade ago when too many architects were building it for a very select few.
Reese Jones, I know a lot of golf course architects. My friend, I have to say you're a different category. You're a steward of the game. We thank you for that. I especially thank you for more player-friendly golf courses. Right. We need to get around these courses, and I just look forward to seeing you many more times along the golf trail.
Tony Leodora's golf wardrobe, courtesy of Antigua, the leader in modern golf apparel.
Tour Edge is the official equipment sponsor of the Traveling Golfer.